Hello, welcome to another special live with CAFA in celebration of the Wear Canada Proud event, a CAFA collaboration with Fashion Magazine. I'm the Fashion Talks podcast, Donna Bishop, and it's been my pleasure moderating all of these talks over the past few days. And there's the
Yay!
beautiful Sabrina
Hi.
Rinaldi.
How are you, Donna?
For I'm good. How are
I'm good,
you?
thanks. I'm good.
For people who don't know Sabrina, you are a go-to celebrity editorial makeup artist here in Toronto, in Montreal, and around the world, really. So you've got deep experience working within the Canadian fashion industry.
I do. It's been about 20 years almost that I've been in the industry. So that's some time. Yeah.
That is some time. So I'm starting these all off the same way, asking you, the fashion expert that you are,
Mhm.
what does Canada gain from having a thriving fashion industry? What is the excitement or the point? What do we gain as a nation by having that?
I really love this question because I think it's really timely right now, especially because I think over decades we've always been like the younger sister to America. We've been that younger sibling, and you kind of look up to them and idolize them and see what they're wearing and doing. And now more than ever, we're like coming into our own. We're like, you know what? We're different, and that's okay. And I'm really proud to be Canadian. I'm really proud to be different. Us creating our own look and fashion and whole industry is really prevalent right now, and I think it's a really good time for us to really step aside and be our own thing.
I think you're so right. It's kind of like we are ready to go out from under the shadow of our bigger siblings south of the border. And when I was talking with Malik Lindo earlier today, we were talking about the paradigm of Canadians feeling like they needed to make it somewhere else, be it in the States or Europe, before they were embraced and celebrated here. And that hopefully that is a paradigm that is being broken finally.
Yeah, it's really funny. I tuned into that and I heard him say that. And I was going to circle back to it because I thought that was a really good point that he's made. Because it's
Yeah.
not just models, although I do know that to be true for models, but the same with hair and makeup, even photographers. It's kind of like if you did go away and you came back, everyone's like, wow, because it is New York. It's a huge city.
Yeah.
And it's like if you can make it there. But I think it's interesting to start, yeah, now exploring, you know what, the people that are here sticking it out, making Canada proud. He also spoke to Drake as well. And I got to give Drake credit, even though I'm not personally a fan of his
Yeah.
music. So I'm one of the non-Drake fans, but I think he's so amazing for what he says about Toronto and putting us on the map. It makes me like so happy that he's doing that. And I think it's time for us to start doing that as well. Yeah.
For people who aren't intimately involved in the industry, can you just give a sense as to the small city that is required to do like photo shoots and work with a Canadian brand? Because it actually employs lots of people. How would you describe it for
Yeah.
people who don't have a sense of the scale?
Yeah, you know what? There's so many of us, and there's so much that goes into it. And first, and I would also love to touch on the fact that as Canadians, and again, going back to being that younger sibling, we really work really hard. Like we really, everybody gives it
Yes.
150%. Nobody is dialing it in. Nobody's resting on their laurels. No one's jaded here. And there is so much passion on set. And I think you feel really lucky. You feel lucky to be working with a Canadian brand and a designer, and there's a little bit of that hometown pride. So everybody feels like they're
Totally.
contributing to a greater good. So on set will always be the design. You will have the photographer, but you'll also have the fashion stylist. And sometimes they'll work with the designer to help curate the collection or the looks and putting them together. And they really have an integral role in bringing it together. And what I love is they really rely on speaking with the hair and makeup to help work on a look that works with that particular collection, the mood and the theme. And I really love that collaborative spirit. So you have all of us hair, makeup, nails,
Yes.
stylist, photographer, caterer. We all get some lunch, but there's a lot of people there making sure that it all looks amazing.
And then, of course, that then goes through the collaboration with retailers. Like once you guys have done your amazing job, then the collaboration continues, be it on,
Yeah.
e-commerce sites or retailers, and, the village just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You mentioned passion there, which I think is such a wonderful word. And I'm hoping that this Wear Canada Proud event, it might be the first time that some people have had the chance to really discover the breadth of our Canadian industry. There's over 150 designers and brands on the site. And oftentimes, obviously this isn't a time when everyone has the opportunity to shop. If you can, it's a great time. But if you can't, sometimes a special occasion is a really wonderful opportunity to dip your toe into doing something that's more tailored or something more custom. And I'm wondering if you've ever had that pleasure of working with a designer for something unique just for you.
Yeah, I have actually. I remember, well, when I got married 10 years ago to my husband Garnet, I had known and worked with Lucien Matisse at the beginning of his career. And obviously, Lucien, his work is amazing. He's an absolute artist. He creates these beautiful pieces. And I met him almost 20 years ago on one of my first creatives, and he was making a dress out of paper. I'll never forget it. I was watching what he did with just paper, and I was like, when I get married, you're making my wedding dress. And I called him on it like 10 years later, and he said, absolutely. And I was like, I want it to be dipped in red dye, and I want it to be really like avant-garde, but still traditional. And he made me the most beautiful custom piece. He worked within my budget, so he worked with me. My mom and my grandmother are very traditional Italian, and they were worried it was going to look like just crazy, and they cried. They were so happy when they saw it. It was such a beautiful dress.
Aww.
And I put it on every year to make sure it still fits, and it does. So
I love that. I do the same thing.
it's a marker. I'm like, I got to still fit in the wedding dress. So I still fit. But I think that's a great opportunity to try a designer, because it's a really special moment, and you do want something special and tailored. And there's people here within your own city that can do it.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the other end of the spectrum, as we're in this time of COVID, I know I have been relying on the loungewear component of my wardrobe a little more heavily than I have in the past. Truth be told. But there are so many great casual wear brands as well. Have you discovered any of those?
Yes. I'm so glad that you asked me, because I know a lot of the brands, but then I already went on to Canada Wears Proud, and I know they're doing a sale and everything over these few days, but I already started ordering some things, and I came across Brunette, the label. Oh my God, I've been living in nothing. I'm still wearing track pants.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
I mean, I haven't worn an underwire bra probably since the beginning of COVID. I actually wrote them, and I was like, you guys are amazing. They've sweatshirts and tees that say like brunette, and then blonde, redhead, one like babes supporting babes. So cool. And we're all loving loungewear.
I have that one. I love it.
Right? I sent the link already, and now there's a discount code. So I sent it to a few friends because I just think it's amazing. And I also just bought the Knixwear Catalyst bra, because like many people, I'm working out at home and I'm working out a lot. And I was like, I need something that's like a sturdy bra. And I was searching all over to find the best workout bra. And do you know, on everything I searched, the Knixwear, the Catalyst bra came up. You can wear it for a month and try it, which I did, and I'm so in love. It's fantastic, and I'm so proud that they're a Canadian brand as well.
I know. I'm flashing you my my Wing Woman Knix strap right there. I love Joanna's stuff. They're all so good. I'm not going to pull a Drew Barrymore, David Letterman, but I am sporting some Canadian undergarments myself. Like when you've been on set and you're doing the makeup or on a model, and they discover that they're wearing a Canadian designer in the shoot. Have you seen like the reactions of models who didn't know they were going to be wearing Canadian, or what it means to them to wear Canadian?
You know what? I think what I've seen is models, when they know they're coming to shoot, let's say for a Canadian designer, but when they come and they see the collection, and they're just like watching them experience it through their eyes of going like, wow, I just shot twice for Centeler. And if you know Centeler, it is the most amazing coats. The ladies are also amazing at the brand as well. I have to say, they're such kind, wonderful people. And I shot with them right before
Hmm.
COVID. And the coats, there's this one almost like trench, but it's in a plaid. It's so beautiful. And watching
That
the
is so
models just be like, they're taking selfies in it and they're so excited. Again, it just goes back to the fact that they're like, yes, this is Canadian and I'm wearing it. There's a lot of pride involved.
It's such a, I liken it almost to when you're watching a movie and you recognize like maybe your neighborhood or you recognize a
Yeah.
Canadian landmark and you're like, oh, look, it's Calgary in the movies or it's Toronto in the movies. You get that sort of flutter. And I think it's the same when we see celebrities wearing Canadian on the red carpet. It gives us, or in a photo shoot, it gives us that same kind of flutter
Yeah.
of excitement of seeing Canada represented on a bigger stage.
It's true. It's true. Centeler, a lot of celebrities wear Centeler. If you see how many celebs are in their coats, it's amazing. And you're like, oh my God, like J-Lo and all. It's really, yeah, I agree 100%.
you know when you are, you're someone who is quite physical with work. Being a makeup artist is pretty physical. When you are looking to wear clothes for work, what sort of things do you look for? Because I want to give people a sense of what they could maybe look on the Wear Canada Proud site for. Like, you don't need to name brands necessarily, but what sort of clothes do you find you have in your closet?
I wear a lot of black. I'm still wearing black right now, personally for me, because as a makeup artist, I guarantee will always get makeup on my clothes. So for me, being quite physical, I'm always bending down and moving. So I love a high waist. A high waist suits my body. So I like to pick high waisted things. And then when I'm bending over, like that low waisted jean trend in the early 2000s was not a good look for makeup artists because we're always bending over. It's not good. But I definitely go personally for work. I go for things that are washable because I got makeup on it. I go for things that I can bend over with and get my hands in on. So definitely for me, when I want to do my splurge pieces, things that stand out a little bit more, because my clothes get so dirty, I tend to do it on a really great coat, a really great bag, a really great pair of shoes. Just those are the things where I'll do the little bit more of the splurge. And then for work, it's a little bit more practical.
You got to check out Yoga Jeans from Montreal. Nice high waist, stretch, so comfortable
Uh-huh.
in the washing machine. They're amazing.
Yes.
I'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about how COVID has been impacting, your industry. Are you hearing about things starting up again and working on set, or how's this time been for you?
I know I'm so ready to go to work. I'm so excited to just start seeing all my peeps and working on models. I miss the social interaction. They're all family and friends. So I'm definitely missing that. I am starting to hear whispers and I have a few things on my charts. As you mentioned, I do work in Montreal quite a lot as well. So I'm going to be going back there next month. So things are happening in both Montreal and Toronto, but slowly. There's going to be a lot of safety measures in place. That's for sure. So myself and all the artists at my agency have done safety certificates. We have to all, sanitize our kits. There's new safety protocols, but having all those in place, I know that we're all ready and geared up to start working together again.
Well, Sabrina, it's always such a pleasure seeing you. Thank you so much for taking the time to come here and talk with me today and support the CAFA and Fashion Canada fashion magazine collaboration of Wear Canada
Of
Proud. The
course.
website for people who are wanting to check it out is
Yes.
wearcanadaproud.com. And I look forward to seeing you in person very soon,
Yeah.
hopefully, and seeing your beautiful work on the pages of our magazines and billboards and TV and movie screens in the very near future.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. And I'll post the website on my Instagram stories later as well, because honestly, there's so much there to buy. It's really fantastic.
And there were so many brands I didn't even know about it. I consider myself pretty tapped in, and
Yeah.
I guarantee anyone they will discover new Canadian brands they didn't know about. It's really
It's,
cool.
it's a great opportunity to start being Canada proud and seeing everything out there for sure. Thank you so much, Donna.
Thanks so much, Sabrina. We'll see you later.
Take care.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.